We lived 10 years in Hawaii, and I developed a deep and profound appreciation for the culture, the indigenous culture of Hawaii. The aloha for the aina, the moana, the love for the land and the ocean, the respect of our kupuna, respect for your elders, the kuleana of the traditions and the roots and the indigeneity, the respect and responsibility that you take in the Native Hawaiian culture of your roots and ancestry. So when we had our beautiful baby girl, Ila, we knew it was time to come find our indigeneity en las costas de las Americas. So where do we go? So we immediately started to brainstorm, and of course, we had to build our California dream. Why a California dream, right? Because we'll have access to great public education system, access to arts, music, culture, and we'll also be in our native land. So I was continuously applying for work, trying to get that hook into California before we could move, but hundreds of applications came through and nothing came to fruition. So we did what any other responsible adult will do, and we cashed out our 401k. And we sailed off. And when choosing where to start off, to kick off our California dream, where do you go to start your California dream? Right on the 55, on that blue and red sign, the Motel 6 on Newport Boulevard in Costa Mesa. But we were happy about it because it's such a central location. It's affordable. We can walk to stores. We were right on the 55. We can go to LA if we want. We can go to San Diego if we wanted. And it was just 10 minutes away from the shore. So we were surfing our life away. We were loving it. But we hit the ground running, immediately looking for an apartment, right? We have a baby in tow. We're living in the Motel 6 now. We're looking for a place. Nothing was coming through until we finally found a place in Santana. Now, it wasn't Costa Mesa. No, it's 20 minutes away, but it was okay because all of a sudden, I was with my people, the music, the flavor, the sounds. I felt home. And again, we were still surfing every weekend with the baby in tow, but still having a great time. And again, the 401k starts to draw down. We need to find work. My husband was able to get a job first than I did, and then immediately I followed. So that should be easy. I was an executive leader in the nonprofit industry in Hawaii for almost 12 years. I worked in the Senate for 2. I have 2 degrees, so I should be fine. Unfortunately not. I realized that as savings were going down, I had to take a duck in pay. I had to take a duck in title, and I landed an entry-level position at a legal firm. We're living on the fringes. So in New York, growing up, I knew of 311 NYC, so I immediately researched what's the equivalent here in Orange County, and I find 211. Anybody know what 211 is? All right, some hands, that's right. It's an essential resource hotline for the community, for anybody that has any type of need in the community. You call 211 and get connected, and that's what I did. I called and I was able to get my infant enrolled in Medi-Cal, ensure she has health insurance. I was able to transition my women, infant, and children nutrition benefits to California. I was able to find free diapers because I qualified as a WIC recipient. I was able to find affordable daycare because I needed to hand over my 5-month infant over to a stranger so that I can go to this entry-level position to continue to make ends meet. We looked at the silver lining of it all. We were happy. We were starting off our California dream, and we pursued on. We got to surf every weekend. You will find we went to every single coast you can possibly think of across Orange County. You will regularly find us rain or shine every weekend on 40th Street right in Newport. But just like any lesson that the ocean gives you, there's also those times with the ocean, it's a little turbulent, it's a little choppy, and the forecast is really big, but you're gonna test your skills and you're gonna go out on that big swell day. And then when you see that 10-foot wave building right in front of you, what do? You lock in, you focus, you paddle as hard as you can. You focus on your breathing. You use every single muscle in your body. But sometimes you don't make it, and you're right in the impact zone. And as that crest of a 10-foot wave, crest of a wave just slams right on top of you, complete darkness. You don't know which way is up, which way is down. You're being tossed around like a rag doll in a washing machine. But you can't panic, right? You can't panic, because if you panic or you try to fight it, you're gonna lose whatever little air is left in your lungs. So you have to relax and hope for the best. And if you're lucky enough that you have a leash on your board, you climb that leash up to the top to crack the surface. My 10-foot wave crash and wipeout came in the form of a letter. It was great news. We were gonna get in our unit hardwood floors, stainless steel appliances, washer and dryer in unit, fantastic. With the increase of $300 a month in rent in the next 3 months. My heart immediately sank. Because we were living on the fringes. We were living paycheck to paycheck. We were living in the red, getting our card declined at the grocery store with a cart full of food. So again, instead of panicking, I did and reached out to that lifeline that had helped me once before. I called back 211. They were able to connect me with Spark.OC, which is a financial empowerment site. And I got connected and got to meet one-on-one with a case manager that just helped me get my numbers right, helped me fix my budget, adjust some numbers, making some adjustments here to be able to get that 1 month rent, 1 month security. Because I was in a full panic. Was I about to be homeless if I didn't find a solution? Was I about to take my infant and my family into a shelter? Me? I promised myself that I would never be in that situation, that I felt my mom and I saw my single mother with 4 kids in a 1-bedroom apartment in New York City, working double shift, taking any shift and any opportunity she could just to make ends meet. I promised myself I wasn't gonna be that person. I went to school, I did the work. I got the degree, I got the promotions. I got the 2nd degree. Me? I'm gonna be homeless? So with her support, with that case manager's support, and my persistence in finding a place, I will find an affordable place, and I lucked out and found an affordable place in Costa Mesa, finally. I took a visit of the location, signed right on the moment, and we moved into Costa Mesa. But the hunt continues, because we're still working at that minimum wage job, so I keep applying, and finally I get an opportunity to interview at Orange County United Way. And I got offered an opportunity to be a corporate engagement manager. And now after 7 years, I am now the director of corporate engagement, and I have been able to build public and private partnerships to bring the volunteering, the resource, and investments into the organization to be able to deliver these essential services, to be that lifeline for families like mine, to support the 1 out of 3 Orange County residents in this community that are living on the fringes, and to be able to provide 211, that essential lifeline that once saved me, twice saved me and helped me and my family. Carrying on, my daughter now is in school. I am that very eager mom that wants to join the PTA, so I join it. Then I start learning about, well, what's happening? What are we investing all our fundraising efforts? It's going into STEM and arts, but shouldn't this be provided by the school? So I find myself now speaking at school board meetings and advocating for equitable investment in our schools, in all schools, for all kids. I find myself, with my daughter on a stroller, trying to cross Wilson Street in the most terrifying game of Frogger because cars are just zooming by, and I'm like, we're gonna make it to the park, baby. We get there, and there's no bathroom. So we last only like 15 minutes there because kids have a bladder the size of a peanut. So when I get to meet my amazing council member, I give her an earful, and I was like, we need a crosswalk to this park. It is absolutely essential. And by the way, we also need a bathroom. And after a couple of meetings, one day she came up to me and was like, hey, you know what? You should come and be a nominee to be a parks commissioner. I was like, yes, I am on it. I will join it, and I will advocate for green space in my community. And so as I'm there, after 2 years in Parks Commission, I learned that there's an equitable investment in the population to green space ratio on the west side of Costa Mesa in my neighborhood. What's up with that? Parks staff, let's figure it out. And well, Commissioner, there's certain land use codes that we have to take into mind. There's zoning we take into consideration. Well, how do we fix that? Well, that's for planning to decide. Okay, well, 2 years into that, I then get the opportunity to join the Planning Commission. So I join it there, and now we're gonna fix that, right? And once I'm in planning, I learned, well, you're supposed to only vote on things based on what's available, what's listed in the land use code. And I'm like, well, we are multifaceted individuals. What if there's gaps in this code? How can we fix that? Well, you can give recommendations, but that's for the council to decide. Okay. Time goes on, and then I have an opportunity to join, so special that I'm actually standing on this stage, join the board of the Arts and Learning Conservatory and to support arts education to the community. And I had such a fortune that my little one was just practicing in the room next door and continue to give back to my community in such a meaningful way. But as the days are full and we pick up the kid from school, get home, rise up to our second floor apartment, open up the window, and what's the view that we see out of our second floor apartment? Right across the 55 is that Motel 6, where our California dream first started. So my California dream now looks very different. It's focused on getting that equitable green space, making sure that our streets are tree lined so that it's cool, that it's safe to walk around in our streets, making sure that there's affordable housing for my community. So that only takes me to the most rational thing to do, which is it's such an honor to stay in this stage with you all, live and in person for the very first time, to say, my name is Angely Andrade Vallarta, and I am running for City Council of the City of Costa Mesa.